Okay, I do not know why. Oh, that's why. Oops. Oh, Marina, sorry about that. I completely forgot to put my webcam back up. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Just say now that we're not having this thing be looking at the floor. There we go. And yes, I'm having I guess it's a Schron's ice cream on Sunday thing. It has chocolate in it, so yeah. Oh, why did I turn into that? Anyway. So, yep, I guess I'm just going to have just this live stream, just keep it simple, make it like a kind of like a open whatever thing. So, yeah. What? I don't understand why people sometimes they like, because I have an email that just came in from Cosmetics, Cosmedix, that says, "Let's talk acid." Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Don't need any of that, thank you. But people are acting a little bit weird, and a good handful are acting a little bit kind of how do I put this? Kind of two-faced lately. Like one of them. One of them used to like come to me and ask for like my opinion and my like advice on some things. Okay, no problem. I gave my best advice and whatnot for their best, of course. Then the same person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so am I. Then the same person then decides, to go onto one of my like um lives or like after a live stream's posted and decide to put a comment saying something like, I'm gonna go verbatim. I used to work with him. No, I never worked with your dude. No, we were not on the same level of employment. No. Second of all, if you're going to be calling me a fraud, here's the thing. I know what I'm talking about, and I've been doing it for, let's see, 12 years. I know what I'm talking about. And if you're going to call me a fraud for that's cute. Your viewpoint means nothing to me. And and the ratings I do are fake. Well, here's the thing. I never gave you one. I never gave you one. If you thought I did, I didn't. And second, I actually have 4 certifications in one of the styles of reading that I do, astrology. 4. That, I don't know, took a while and studying to obtain. So yeah, don't know, don't care, meh with it. And the thing is, and a wise man once said, don't go and swing It's someone who has tried to give you their best help to you. And for the love of bloody heck, don't swing at someone when you have done things completely, if not worse than them. And they know about it. Because I'm not going to be saying some of the things that happened because that's not right. But the thing is that I have that power to, but I'm not going to because that's not right to do. But the whole thing is, don't, no. I love Venus and healing. it's speaking of that. I don't like to talk when I chew. That's just something for me. For me, what I love is like controls or something like that. Just keeps trying so hard to like mess with me. It's just a simple response to like, "Aw, wow, wow." Here, you know what? Since you want to be my fanboy and all that, here, all this. What's this gonna do? Open it. Now fan me, boy. Thank you for being my new fanboy. There you go. Mm-hmm. Not a fanboy. I mean, thing is, if people give you attention, whether it be supportive or attempting to try and mess with you, either way, they're still giving you their attention. Better yet, the biggest smack to them is that, wow, of all the things and of all the things you can give your time to, you're choosing to give it to me. You do know every second that you give me, you never get back, right, dude? Oh, you should just burn. I'll stop with you. You're making me feel important. No, really. Really, you're making me become so important that I'm at the center of your, attention. Thank you for that, but I'm not flattered. Not lying. Hello, Laura and Naval. Ooh, I like that. I like that name, Vala. I mean, if I could, I suggested you would do something like this. And you can't even do this anyway because, it's kind of difficult to pick up a planet and throw it. But do something like, whoops.
Let me have it! Let me have it! Let me have it! Let me have it! Let me have it!
Him in the face with some karmic anvils to the head. I mean, it really doesn't bother. It really doesn't bother me, and it doesn't really affect me that much. It's just that, well, for one, I'm one of those people that understands necessary stress and unnecessary stress. Stress that it has to be dealt with because it can't be avoided. And then the other kind, which is unnecessary stress, meaning that stress that's put onto somebody else because shenanigans or whatever stupid logic. Like unnecessary stress is having some twat head be all like, "Hey, I'm just gonna mess with you and try and make and defame you." Careful, honey. You don't need to try doing that because the thing is, just don't. And I'm not really somebody who likes being feisty because it's like out of my element. I don't feel right being overly, aggressive. I don't. It doesn't make me feel like I'm. Stop it. All of it. Yeah, I don't. I just feel out of my element when I'm actually being overly aggressive and feisty and pushy. Hello, Jay. The heck, dude. The heck. There. Keep it there. Like, now don't get me wrong. I can completely understand also if somebody doesn't like something that someone else is doing, like on YouTube and stuff like that. But the thing is, if you're gonna be giving somebody your time that is doing something that either one you don't like or you have no interest in, or if it's something that it goes against your belief system or anything like that, if you're giving them your time, the view, and your time and engagement, if you're choosing to do that, it's really your fault for exposing yourself to something that makes you uncomfortable. And if you're trying to cause hostility, oh hey, he was the one that decided to be like, oh, I don't like this. I'm going to insult them. Who made the choice? Don't look at me. I'm just doing my natural thing, and someone being all, oh my God, burn him. Well, for one, I already am on fire. I'm already a flamer, so fail. Two, no thank you. Nah. No. Yeah. Using somebody's. Well, actually, funny enough, the idea of like burning like somebody a witch, and some people were believing like his belief system and a faith. Sorry, that kind of viewpoint. That's not my belief system. It's not my religion. So, well, what is your religion? It's unorganized. What does that mean? It's unorganized. I don't get it. Yeah, because you're too dim-witted to. Having an unorganized religion means that pretty much, simply put, I don't have a book. I don't have anything telling me how to view things within like the religious viewpoint. Nothing. Well, the Bible says this about him. I don't care. The Talmud says this. That's cute. Torah says this. Meh. Any religious book that gets in front of me and tries to like block me saying that I can't do something, meh with it. I'll acknowledge it, learn about it, yes, but I'm not going to let it restrict me. Because a book and a philosophy, all that it can do is pretty much make me become aware of something and see something from a new perspective. But am I going to implement it on my life and naturally hold me back? Oh heck no. Hello, Angela. It's good to see you after a long while. And there is another thing too. And for some reason, some people even also try. What's another thing that people have tried to like throw at me to try and mess with me, get me off kilter? Oh. Now here's the thing. Oh yeah, but actually I've had these for a while, and they're actually martial arts weapons intended to be because I mean they're steel. But now when somebody here's the thing. When it comes into context, when somebody is using like the term a devil worshiper, now here's the thing. Being a kind of like katana for Mortal Kombat, but don't have the blades on. But I mean, they could. This spec here still is a bit sharp, but close enough. But now if somebody does have a belief system of being a Satanist, and if they do say like doing the devil's work, or they believe in and they invest alongside of him. Okay, now here's the thing. When you're saying that because that's what it is, like saying, "Yep, she is one and she practices the faith and that's her faith." But now if you say something like, "Oh, he's one of those devil worshippers," and putting something completely outlandish like, "Oh, he's like kidnapping animals, sacrificing animals, and the things along those sorts, again, messing like harming children, doing murder and human sacrifice." Now here's the thing: when you're using devil worshiper in that context, that's no, that's that's kind of an uncalled for insult. Because the thing is, you don't use somebody's viewpoint or religious affinity as a weapon. You don't weaponize that, and even heck, if you're saying it because that's just what the belief system is, without the intention of being baneful, okay. But when you're calling somebody a devil worshiper, bonus points if that's not their faith, and if you're going along with a stereotypical thing because of an old group of old geezers being like, we have to figure out a way to make sure we can keep power over these people, and we also got to make sure those women don't get into power because if they do, we're going to lose. We're going to have nothing. Oh, I forgot that was a secret. Oh well, never doing that again. Nah, that was a joke. But calling, and also anybody that's also like the occult. Well, occult study and magical practice witchcraft. It's an art, and not only that, just because somebody practices the occult doesn't mean they worship anything. Because here's the thing: I don't worship nobody, be it person, God, divine, left hand divine. Don't matter. I worship none of them. Because here's the thing: why would I put myself below something? Why am I going to make myself become so dependent on something? Some people think that I am dependent on things, but I'm not. When it comes to my philosophy and religious viewpoint, why am I going to put something above me and make myself feel inferior to it? And some people think, well, the way that you say, like, oh, yes, love. Oh, the most recent episode? Yeah. Yeah, that episode, I was not having it. Oh, yeah, I was not having it. I was mad, like mad. Because I'm trying to find a nice way to put this that way I don't get a spear thrown at me from YouTube saying, oh, like, oh my gosh, that was a bit too harsh. I don't care. All right. Thing is, if there's a group of people, or there's some people that is actually acting out of line, not following the rules of like how a system's set up to do, okay. So here's the thing: if they're not going to follow the rules, do you have to follow the rules? No. If they just keep ignoring and they just keep pushing through whatever they want to push through, okay, cute. You know what you do to stop that? Executive order, quit it. Well, you can't do that. That's tyrannical. No, hey, you can't argue. Executive order, it happens. But that's tyranny. Don't care. But now here's the thing: if you're using a tyrannical means to actually stop something that's getting out of hand, is it tyrannical? Yeah, it is. But your intention behind it is what matters the most. If you're being tyrannical to stop a bunch of dim-witted twat-heads completely overstepping the boundaries of not following the rules and doing whatever kind of BS shenanigan to get their agenda and what they want through, okay, you if you have the power to do so, quit it. Whack them. Not literally, but with like executive action. And even like the overturning. Oh, that's cute. Guess what? Executive order mitigated. Hey, the last president was able to do that, and he stood unopposed. No. You can't say no. Nope, you can't oppose him. You know why? Because the last one was unopposed. This doesn't make this one any different. Nope. Nope. No favoritism. If the last one could do it, then so can this one. You're crying? Boo-hoo. Deal with it. Hey, don't look at me. If nobody follows the rules, if one side doesn't follow the rules, then nobody has to follow them. So then just whack them, metaphorically. Put in the executive order and stop it all. And put in these executive orders to make them quit it. I mean, if anything, it should have shown everybody that, okay, so if somebody's in that position, they can pretty much do whatever they deem fit. Okay. So have at it. Last one didn't follow the rules. This one doesn't have to either. Keep it simple. And even day one. Because me, honestly, I don't even like talking political stuff. Because the thing is that, okay, everything looks so flashy, woozy wooey, boom boom the roo on TV. Woo, okay. And all the shenanigans and all the things that are going on. Okay, that's cute. But day one, how many times did he pick up a pen and sign his name for orders? Okay. That shows he can do it. So let's do it. Come on. We're going to overturn Roe v. Wade because we're going to be correcting our mistakes. Careful, honorary Thomas. Careful now. Are you sure that's the best thing to say? Are you sure? And everybody else had decided to overturn it on the court. Are you sure that's the best thing to have and the best course of action to do? Including also the states that are saying, oh, we're going to put in trigger laws because as soon as that gets overturned, these are going to go into effect. Oh, hold on there. No. You just proved to everybody that, is in the country. Oh, it was premeditated. It was plotted. It was schemed. It's completely biased. It was planned. So the thing is that now executive order. It cannot be a biased ruling of an overturnment. That can't happen. Nope. Sorry. Deal with it. It's unconstitutional. You know what else is unconstitutional? You know what else is unconstitutional? You don't have the right to be stupid. You have the right to free speech, meaning that you're free to speak, but you don't have the right to be stupid. Mm-hmm. I know this is a little bit harsh, but still. You have the right to express your viewpoint and opinion, but knowing that, something... No. Oh, and just for giggles. I mean, this is none of my business, but did you know that you don't have to have a high school diploma or any kind of education to be president? Did you know that? How mind-boggling is that one? Here, I'll say it again. Did you know you don't have to have a high school diploma or any kind of education like a GED to be president? Do you know how mind-bogglingly scary that is? I know. Mm-hmm. That makes me just want to go and be all, hey, put me on the bench. Elect me to the bench. Put me on the bench. Oh, a lot of people, both sides aren't going to like me, but I don't care. People don't have to like me. Because the thing is, if you're a judge, you have to abide by that constitutional thing. You have to go by that. You know, you don't have to do, and even also with any kind of position of power like that, never, ever, ever, ever do the people have to like you. But there's one thing you have to do. You must do. Yeah, you must do what's best for them. Nobody has to like it. Yep, the system's working as it's intended to, but the thing is, sometimes all that it takes is just one person to get in there. Oh, actually, speaking of that, here's one. Now, here's a really good one. If you're going to be using something as your defense, you have to use it all. You have to use the whole thing as it is. You can't just quote and then leave off, like have a quote, then have something be said, and then end with dot 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 quote. No, put the whole thing on there, all of it. Even if it doesn't seem relevant, you put the whole bloody thing on there. If you're citing a official document like that, you put the whole thing. You use the whole thing. If you don't, no, defense is nope, not good enough. And like what I said earlier, if you're using power in a way to actually mitigate and combat something that's getting out of hand, like what I was saying, hey, Biden, pick up the pen and just be all, executive order, stop it. Well, wait a minute, he's being a tyrant. No, it's tyrannical, yes, but the thing is that he's using it in a way to stop this BS going on. That the intention behind it is to make people who are acting dim-witted purposely and trying to overstep the boundary. Okay, whack. Nope. That's the intention behind it. Put something back into check, which is what they're supposed to do. Anyway, that's what they're supposed to do. Oh, check. Hope I gotta check this power that's getting out of hand. Whack. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is none of my business, but I mean, just for giggles, if they really don't want to have Trump go back in, I mean, it's just so simple. It's so simple. All they have to do is this: executive order. You must have a level of education, a threshold, in order to become president. Do it. Do it. Do it. Whack. Sorry, Trump. You can't apply. What can't you apply? You don't have a diploma. I'm sorry, Cupcake. What? It doesn't have one. Yeah. That's a good question, Manoa. I love that, honestly. Human species, whom are we really superior to animals? That's a good question. In some ways, yes. In some other ways, absolutely not. Some ways, there are some other ways are just like, wow. Even nature would be thinking, what is this doing? when it comes to like being, let's see here, when it comes to innovation, kind of like creating things and tools like that, it's similar to like primates and apes using like, and I believe also the gorilla. I can't remember exactly the species, but they use tools and humans use tools the same way. But at the same time, humans are able to actually create things and become more, have this spirit, like more of an awareness, if that makes sense. But for animals, they're more intuitive, they're more connected to nature, they're more, even animals also have a sense of emotional intelligence. I mean, here's another one. Ah. Animals also understand too that sometimes same gender interactions happen. We just hate the mushrooms. That's a good way of putting it. There's also another website um, called Library of Babel. Yeah, same, Marina. In fact, yeah, that's a good choice. And actually, I'm also putting in, I think, to be honest, I think putting the elephant as a mascot for a party, I think that's an insult, to be honest. I wouldn't put it as an elephant. I wouldn't even, because elephants are emotionally intelligent and actually really aware of one another. So much that even like there was a story, I think it was in, what was it? I can't remember where, but this man, uh, oh, that's nice, and I like that, Angela. That's nice. That's sweet. Because I mean, hey, at least they'll take care of the chicks. Irresponsible parental cranes. Wow. Gender, so called, is just, well, now, if we want to be dissecting that, now, ultimately, both, like every human being that walks this earth, it has both masculine and feminine qualities in them. And now the thing is, if anything, most likely, we're pretty much every person is Mercurian in that manner. Meaning, Mercury is intersexual. Meaning, one one part is male, then the other part comes up as female. Mercury is actually the planet that actually, when the sun rises, like when sunrise comes up, that's a Mercury hour, and when the sun's up, that's when Mercury's in the masculine. Get it? Okay, good. Then when the sun sets, that's another Mercurian hour. The sun's setting, so now the moon's coming up, and now Mercury becomes feminine. That's a little bit of an astrology tee secret. Now you know, don't forget it. But now the thing the thing I don't understand. I don't really understand the many types of terms that are used to identify someone. Sometimes I get lost. Yes, Baphomet's also Mercurian for that matter because it's both. Because since it's both, it has both qualities. And also Baphomet actually, if you want to look at it from an astrological viewpoint. Okay, here we go. So the head is the goat. That's Capricorn. The head's Capricorn. The face, the whole head is Capricorn. The face, Pisces. The face, Aquarius. Because, I'll put it this way. You see the Baphomet, you think, what the heck? The second house is the face. And the throat. And all the other parts of the body. The hand is Pisces. Like the third house is Pisces. And the hands, what they're doing is that they're moving and they're interacting with stuff that is of a spiritual nature. The hands are pointing in the certain directions, pointing to spiritual representations. That's Pisces. The fourth house, the heart, Aries. Well, in order for... Actually, I don't even think I need to explain that one, because the Baphomet figure having that spot there with that, most of the youthfulness always goes to that nourishment, and that's a part of it representing. The fifth house is Taurus, but I don't get it. How can it's like diaphragm in there have anything to do with the staff of Aphelios? Simple. The fifth house is the diaphragm in the soul spot right here. When you have, how do I put this? When you have good health, you're able to go up the chakra system, and that's what that is. The Baphomet figure is actually really ultimately a symbol. Ultimately. It's mainly meant to be like a meditative focus. And if you're going to be giving it some form of intelligence and way to interact and communicate with you, you can, but that's up for the person. At the core of it, it's meant to embody a lot of principles into one figure. If that makes sense. Then the sixth house, which is the intestinal tract. Now, that's the sign of Gemini. That's the sign of Gemini. And that pretty much is like the base of it. And usually when you have something at the base and through here, because I'm trying to have the image in my head. Here, let me just do this real quick. Open up, you stupid thing. Thank you. Egregore? Well, the thing with an egregore is that you have like a lot of people created and imbued it at once. And some people would even say that even like it can be charged and invested in over time by many people. You can. But the thing is that if it's just you interacting with it, how you interact with it and how it affects you, that all pretty much can make it like completely subjective. Because for me, I see the Baphomet, I see it as a symbol and a meditative focus, because that's what it was intended to be. But some people do interact with it in a way that it actually does have a consciousness. It does have a way to communicate. It does have a way to give guidance. It does have a way to act, and it does have an impression on some people. But again, that's on each individual person. The most you can go with. But however, though, let me see. I figure out how to spell it. Okay. Baphomet plushie. Good lord. Okay, let's see here. Okay, give me the... Where the heck? If I could just have an image of it just standing as it is naturally, that'll work. Could that be... See, there we go. Okay, so... I can't really see that well in the picture. Okay, so... The part where it has like the circle, like the first circle, like underneath the breast part, and where the staff's at, that's actually this part right here that's actually the fifth house. and that being actually Taurus can actually make sense because the cycle, like the cycle of crap, I just forgot what I was going to say because people keep talking in the background, distracting me, but it'll come back. But the sixth house with Mercury, like with the staff, I feel like a feel, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, that thing. Well, her medicine, that is also Gemini too. It's just an immature version of it. The seventh house of being now Cancer, well, where you see the part of like one side and it goes down, you can that's actually like the shell and like how a crab actually has like the pinchers that way. It comes down the circle, then it goes like straight down, like underneath the like the I think that's a garb. I think I could be wrong, or in a way, it kind of looks like a hakma. So having that go on both sides, that's Cancer. And the eighth house, well, if you take a look, like right below um, the two snakes, you can actually see a spot if you catch my drift. Yeah, it is what it is. The ninth house is essentially the upper thigh and back thigh, and pretty much all that you can see, and that's Leo, by the way. The ninth house actually has Leo. No, wait, that's the crap. They just keep people in the background keep talking and they keep throwing me off. Ugh. Okay, Cancer seventh. Okay, then eighth is Leo. And yeah, it actually does kind of have a bit of a that's mostly like the I'm trying to say this in a way without making you to be like, oh, wait a minute, that's a bit of a questionable thing you said. God forbid. Most forms of identity and speculation, and actually mainly creative art, like creative expression, does involve some sexual things too. But also, sudden events, they may also have an artistic event or artistic expression to them, like, or even also most playwrights do have an element of tragedy to it, if that makes sense. So, but also again, the sun is the king, Leo is a lion. What does a lion like to do? Be the head of the pride and make with all the as many females as possible until a new younger lion comes in and pushes him off a cliff, and then he rules. But then the ninth house now becomes Virgo for Capricorn. But now Virgo, being the upper thighs, you actually see like how it's actually clothed, and it looks like I'm just looking at it for. It kind of looks like I have to say it looks like a garb, to be honest. And because of that, it does kind of have like this sense of like purity, cleanliness, and what's that word? Decency, if that makes sense, because it's covered. But then the 10th house being Libra, if you notice how the Baphomet's knees, like, because that's the 10th house kneecaps, they're actually balanced, meaning that they're perfectly in line with each other. They're like right down the middle exact. The shin and then all the way down to the ankle, that is Scorpio. And if you notice the up until when it gets to the hoofs on both, some of it's in the dark and then some of it's in the light, but mainly it's kept covered as a sign of secrecy. But also at the very bottom, you now have the hooves, which is Sagittarius, because behind Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Sagittarius sometimes is seen as a centaur, And also the 12th house for a Capricorn, essentially that's where most of the, like when they do a long distance travel, that's when they actually encounter more philosophical expression and higher experiences from foreign lands, or even in isolation. That's where they get the most. They get the most philosophical expansion, or they actually learn better alone. They don't do well in a school setting. With the Capricorn descendant, that is. So mainly, the Baphomet figure is also, you can, in a way, somewhat similar to how you can see kind of like how like a Capricorn birth chart in a way. That's just a fun fact. I know I kind of was a little bit all over the place because I was being distracted. But anyway, now my tongue's all tied up. Hello, Elysia. Yeah, and actually, well, a servitor. Let me grab. I'm gonna grab the first deck that pulls me, and I'm gonna pull the first card that comes out. So let's see. Let's see. Stop yelling. Jesus Christ. I do it all the time. I'm getting real tired of it. It's so annoying. Ugh. Agitated. Anyway. Well, making a servitor, and well, an egregore, originally is actually a group of people. I believe it's actually someone in a group of people making it, but a servitor is mainly meant to be for like one single person. Okay, let's see what we get. Overnight. Well, one side is looking for hope and inspiration, and then we have the other side being depressed, and then there is another one that's trying to do some kind of alchemical work to bring it back to life and back together. No, I would be very careful listening to her. If that's the one that I'm thinking of, if that's the one I'm thinking about. Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, well. Whether reunite happen, potentially yes, more likely than not yes. But the thing is, there's going to have to be a tragic faceplant. No, no, Adam. No, Adam. That's not. No, Baphomet's a symbol, not evil. No. No, it's biased. Now, what was her name? I want to address her correctly. So, Lizo, on your side, you're heavily invested towards him, which is nothing wrong with that, and you're trying to do something to rekindle it. But as for him, right now, he's in a state of like really down depression. Like he's upset gravely by something, or the whole situation, or the whatnot. So he's gonna have to have something happen that's gonna take something and shake him up and make him have a new foundation to build upon. But the good thing is that that same feeling of like intimidation and dread, that's going to fall. And then the new foundation for him to work on is actually the sun. So he'll actually, even though he might take a bit of a gut check to the stomach, like emotionally, he'll be able to understand that, oh, okay, I see the light now and I understand. Then he'll be able to see, because also if you notice over here with this card, if you were to put it together, this one, they're both actually looking in the same direction as in like a pair in a unit. And the skies for both of them, one's a bit darker, but the other one's somewhat similar in the same way. And don't be too in your head about all this, because he'll actually come back when the time's right. And actually, he might surprise you too. Just don't be too isolated in your thoughts thinking, is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? I don't know. Is he going to come back? I don't know. Then surprise, there he is. Just let him go through his tragedy moment. Then it'll all pick up and come back from there. Okay, Pluto. College entrance exam. Since you're really hoping for it right now, and you're really going about means of just looking in a direction that may not be the best of help currently, because in this depiction you have one figure looking outside the window and he's looking straight up. Like it's pretty much looking up thinking, I have no idea, I'm a bit lost. Possibly where you're looking at right now to actually help for the exam to be passed might not be the most practical way of going about ensuring it being passed. Be more practical though. Do the most realistic reality down to earth and come back to earth way of actually ensuring you pass the exam, which is in this case, of course, studying and actually even asking around, taking the physical action on the 3D and using the 3D senses to actually find a way to ensure you pass it because of it. Yeah, I hate it when that happens too. Internet lags, but I have to say, if you want to pass the exam, be more like a devil's advocate in being like, hey, if I'm gonna be wanting to pass this exam, I gotta make sure that I'm on my A game. I'm even gonna ask around to see if anybody else has taken this entry exam, see what they have experienced and what they've saw, and what I can possibly be prepared for. So that way, I'm prepared. Because when you do that, you actually come to realize, oh wait, this is better than just looking at something that's probably not going to be as beneficial. Yep. There's the Ace of Pentacles showing the manifestation of it if you carry it out the more realistic, practical way, instead of going at a way that's not the best. And also, if something seems and if it looks like it's being good on the process, trust me. Most of the time than not, to put it simply, everybody has something that is not right. Everybody has something that they're not speaking about. Everybody has some kind of stress. Everybody. And just because they seem happy, especially if they're the type that's like, I'm living the best life. I have a pretty much a life that's free, and I have so many streams of passive income making this much a month and this much a day. You're full of crap. You're full of shit. Nope. And by the way, scamming people for financial standing and security, no. That's going to give you bad karma next life. No. And it's kind of really just mind-bogglingly just sad that there's so many people playing off that fake charade that every time when I see it, I'm like, "Aw, fake." Wow. And I thought Barbie's smiling and always being, happy was fake. Wow. This takes it to a whole new level. Just saying. Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'm one of those people, but now as I've gotten to the point where I hate to be like this because I'm being out of my element, but it's just like, sorry. I'm not going to cut myself down anymore. No. I've been doing it too much to myself. Cutting myself down for somebody else to not be face planning and for them to not actually return the favor or do some kind of involvement. Nope, not doing it. No more of that. Sorry. That's why the people that actually take the most initiative towards me without even me asking them, and they want to provide and they want to give me something or some form of assistance without me asking on their own accord and their own will, when that happens first, then I actually feel okay. There's the one time, trust it, but now I feel like I'm okay. I need to do something to balance it out because if they give to me, I give back to them. But now I'm not initiating that kind of a help like that anymore, especially if it's involving any kind of financial or my energetic at all. Because the thing is, the world has shown me, to be honest, that if that side of me wants to come out, if that side of me that's actually my natural self wants to be experienced and have it come out, the world has to actually earn it. Because I was just being like that naturally, like how I naturally am. But the thing is, the world, I'm sorry to tell you, sorry, you guys didn't know how to handle it, so you don't get it until you've actually shown that you deserve it. It even got to the point where some people actually got into a big hissy fit saying, "But I remember you were when you were like this." Yeah, I remember too, and then you messed it up, honey. What did I do? Simple. Either one, never paid me back. Two, took advantage of me. Three, manipulated me into doing something that's going to benefit you and make me suffer. Four, tried to make me become disoriented and not remember something that happened, but it did. Five, let's see, you're put words to my mouth and try and pin me against other people or pin people against me, telling me to get over something that was not really something to just say get over it to, something that was tragic. You want me to keep going? Because, there's a lot more that I could throw at you. So, yeah, I'm sorry. You don't deserve that nice side of me until you proven to me that you do. Hello, Moon Enchantress. I haven't seen you in a while. What's a biased approach? About seeing it as a symbol as it was intended to? It's not good or evil. Because being something that's good or evil, that's opinionated. And that's on a polarity. A symbol doesn't have a polarity to it because it represents one singular thing as a concept or an idea. If it's something is good or evil, that comes down to the individual. Baphomet at the core is a symbol. That's what it was intended to be. It's not good or evil. It is what it is, neutrally. It's not biased. No. No, I did not say that. Don't put words in my mouth. Do not put words in my mouth, Cupcake. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Baphomet's not it is not an entity as it's intended to be. Some people do portray it as that, and they do believe it, but that's not mine. That's not my viewpoint. Other people do see it as that, and it is what it is for them. It is not purely evil either, nor is it purely good. It's just a symbol. If she did, okay. Baphomet again is a symbol. Depending on how, and actually the thing is, when people meditate and they go to certain places in their own experience, it is true to them, and they can share whatever they have accomplished, and it is what it is. Intentions for R. So we have 2 blades, Queen of Twigs. Well, we have one side that is stuck between already 2 other people, and then we have another that is not over somebody of their past. Did not mean to smack the mic there. We have one side that's actually going to be having pretty much fate and his existence come through and actually perceive things in a way that's actually going to separate the person that has 2 options. Yeah, they're going to be stuck going down with one, and the other person is actually still going to be hooked on the other individual. But altogether, there is going to be a unionship, though. But the thing is, if it's actually going to be stable or not, it's going to need a lot of practical, realistic give and take. It's not going to be able to sustain it all by itself. Both parties have to invest in it. It might also be a bit immature too. A bit of like a youthful kind of a love. But be careful that, it doesn't get abusive, because potentially that might happen again. There might be some form of... Let me get these things lined up. Hold on. Oh, why did that happen? How did that happen? Okay, so one side is the Queen of Wands, and she's actually in this depiction. She's holding a guy's head and looking the other way. So we have one side that's still holding on to somebody's, like a connection with somebody who is long done and overturned, but she's willing to look up and ahead, but still hold on to that. And there's the Two of Blades, which actually has two women, one in white and one in black, showing that there is a indecision about which one to choose. One chooses one in the light, the other one, but there's also the choice of the dark. So either or, somebody can choose. This person can choose either or. The other side with the Queen of Wands is willing to actually look for emotional fulfillment, but it's still going to be holding on to that past experience. The other one, being caught between two, is actually going to be put into a situation where it's going to have to choose one and only one. It may not be their absolute favorite woozy woo choice, and they may not like it, meaning that they may not be like being forced to choose one, but existence is going to force one of them to come in or the other one to go. So one of them is going to make it, the other one's going to lose it. But altogether, a unionship will happen. But for this unionship to stand, there has to be realistic, practical, and nourishing between the parties to both of them equally. But also this element of fanciful, woozy woo, like essentially like a cheesy romance kind of a thing. But again, since this Knight of Cups is on a gargoyle rooftop looking down, the party on the left is still trying to make the decision on who is going to be chosen. They actually might be a bit stockative. They actually might keep an eye on the other. So the thing to be most aware of is that it doesn't become something that's abusive, because you have one figure in the back, and there's actually two more figures down below being subservient. So the person that's stuck between two may potentially still risk keeping the other person around, despite existence trying to push them away. But that's just something to be aware of. Let's see. Oh, thank you for that. Is it pronounced Manoia? I'm trying to see if I pronounced that correctly. Well, so Adam, here's what I got. I have her as the Queen of Sass, the Queen of Swords, and then the Two of Wands. And this is what the Two of Wands looks like. So, from her standpoint, well, I mean, you could just look at it and think, yeah, she's probably not really looking in the direction. It's like she's being a bit standoffish. And because of how this is depicted with the Two of Wands, she actually might be content and actually more secretive about the feelings. And she also mentally may be in a state where she might be a bit annoyed about the whole endeavor. But on your side, have you as the King of Pentacles, this depiction, you have a vampire figure at the very top being like literally scared out of his mind, like being overly anxious about something, like constantly thinking about something, but you still try your best to present yourself the best that you can, even if it's out of your element. This being the Six of Swords, you see a vampire figure trying to open his arms out and trying to land into the water. While vampires tend to not really be able to land on water most of the time, because that's essentially you're taking air and water, putting them together. It's going to conflict. So there is this feeling of like anxiety and wanting to know something, and kind of like losing sleep over it and being reckless, and kind of a fear that it's going to crumble. So you're trying to overcompensate by pretty much just trying to put yourself off and present yourself in a way that's the most presentable and the most captivating. Thanks, Rena. Thanks for Rena. Thank you for actually giving that super chat. So, she probably may not be looking at the best viewpoint at you right now, Adam. Oh boy. But you can't get her out of your head. You have an intense lust for her. Now, this is like what I like to call being caught between a rock and a hard place. Yep. So much that you're willing to. No. You're willing to keep coming back for her over and over again and not take no for an answer. I mean, it is what it is. Desire is a really strong thing. Nothing wrong with it. Just that you have to figure out and you have to plan your way of actually obtaining the desire that you want. You have to strategize and plan for it and go about the means to get it. Whoops. Card fell out. So that's the thing to be aware of. But again, don't get possessed by it. Don't let it intimidate you. Take your time and just plan the best way to obtain it that you're seeking for. I'm not probably gonna. If anything, I'll just be all, man, I blame YouTube because YouTube, they have more money anyway. They should have it fixed by now anyway with all the money they have. Alphabet. So YouTube, let's fix that. Why don't we? You know what I'm thinking about? What the heck? Okay. Just having this thing low because there's something else I do. I also want to put up here. I mean, I also do have a Clubhouse thing, but I have no idea how it works, so I got nothing on that one. I do have this new type of just make sure it downloads properly because sometimes this thing's as stupid. It's like, oh nope, not gonna work. Okay, there we go. Say tick tock, tick tock. Thank you. Okay. It's this thing called it's called The app is called Social. And I'm just waiting for it to actually get clever. It's funny because I actually miss Kirby, to be honest. There haven't been like a lot of Kirby games lately that I can recall. But then again, Kirby's a really old, like one of the characters from like Super Smash Brothers, like a long time ago, back before like Melee came out. I used to always play Kirby, and then the next game Melee they decided, oh, let's bring in Princess Peach, and that was the character I was playing all the time. Okay, there's one. It happens to be one that I know very well. There's another one that I know well. No, not you. You. Oh. Okay. One more, please. Of course he would pop out. Of course he would. Okay, well, taking it from the top. First and foremost, we have first one, Duke Dantalion. Venus in Pisces, exaltation point. Energies to focus upon. Dantalion knows pretty much is the goetic psychologist, psychiatrist, and like counselor of the mind and emotions, because he knows every thought, every idea, everything that every human being has thought of, and he can also change him on his will, because his Venus in Pisces is also the ability to understand devotion in its purest. So, element 1, focus on mastery of the understanding of the human psyche and the emotional psyche of a person or the self, and understanding it as purest. Then next, President Burr. In this deck, he's the King of Cups, Mercury in Taurus. Mercury and Taurus, you put them together, you're putting a prince or even a medical provider in the sign of the senses. And the understanding of senses for medicine and care. President Burr also excels tremendously involving anything regarding to the health and medicine, as well as philosophical studies. So also take a look at doing some more elements regarding botany, like botanical mixtures, and being more focused on natural medicines, like Ayurveda, along those lines. Oh boy, here we go. Then we have King Paimon, Sun in Taurus. Yeah, boy. Here we go. Definitely, Mozo, definitely. Focus more on the senses and actually you being aware of them and actually enjoying them. And actually taking pride and making yourself feel like you've actually earned a lot of the stuff you've earned. And acknowledge it. Especially when it's an eclipse going on, That's when you have to take more stock of it and being more appreciative of it. And also, don't be afraid to be a bit wild and a bit comical and playful, and more extravagant. And last but not least, the Ace of Blades is the last one. When getting clarity on a subject, sometimes clarity you have to have the blade. The blade you use, don't. Sometimes clarity you have to go through like making some shifts, and even it makes you go back and forth like. At the end, every blade does have an endpoint. Yeah, every point does have an endpoint, because usually, like with a hook blade, you you might have to roll back at them because I don't remember them all off the top of my head. I know the Two of Wands was one of them. Two of Wands, and then the Queen of Swords on her end. That's what she got on her end. I don't remember exactly all of them exactly off the top of my head, but that's the best. Those are two of them that I remember as of right now. So, hmm. Now, so don't be afraid. We're in it to also have a unique way of thinking, if that makes sense. Because how the blade in this depiction is actually really crooked, but that's an Aquarius element. Like, what the heck's going on with this blade? Don't be afraid to have your viewpoint, even if some people think, well, it's a big hot mess, it's all over the place, it's different. Just still have your system and flaunt it the way that you deem fit, because that's all that matters. Anybody else's viewpoint, well, yeah, they don't care. It don't mean anything, because the thing is, your viewpoint is what matters the most when it comes to your life and how you live it. But for other people, sharing their viewpoints and philosophies, that's required to help you grow and understand others. But for your well-being, well, really, that all that matters is you and how you stand. Everybody else, well, meh with them. Like what I say, if you're not able to stand on your own, nothing else matters until you stand on your own, without any help. Because until then you can be all like, yeah, I'm kind of concerned about this person, or like concerned with their viewpoint and want to help them. But if it's the other way around, when you're down and people are like, you have to give me this, and no, you don't. You don't have to give anybody jack, snapple, crackle, pop, nothing until you're on your own 2 feet. And if somebody doesn't like it, saying, well, how come you're not doing this? Well, why aren't you doing it yourself? Because I'm not in the best state to even do it in the first place. Why don't you do it? You have to do this. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to act into a big hissy fit? Wow, real mature, cupcake. Because that's the thing. Most of the time, when people get pushy and they demand and they do stuff like that, and then when you just turn on them and just kindly ask, well, why aren't you doing it? Why can't you do it? Why do I have to do it? Because you could have done it yourself by now, all by yourself, and it could have been over and done with. But no, I'm not doing it. You're better, or else what? What are you gonna do? Keep throwing hissy fits? Wow, so mature. Nope. Toodaloo, jackass. And also, we're gonna be a little bit more calculated. And also, don't be afraid to go about things that you might have to breach or calculate more and have a more of a strategic planning with. Don't be afraid to even be more strategic in how you go about these other things, like understanding psychology, understanding more about botanicals, understanding on how to better enjoy the stuff you have, and also better understand and better strategize how you can get clarity, even if it doesn't make any sense. Because I can actually vouch for the idea of like saying nothing's more satisfying than having a aha moment. There's nothing more satisfying than that. Because how it happens is that just out of nowhere, oh, I get it. It just comes out of nowhere. The light bulb just turns on, and now it can't turn itself off, kind of a thing. Trust me, there's nothing better than that moment. And that, for me, that moment happens a lot. At least that's what I get right now. Why is my connection just so blah? Because I can't even tell if it's here. Hold on. I'm gonna check something, and hopefully I don't care. Quit it. Did that help? Probably not, but what else is new? Because I don't even know. Oh wow, I can actually customize this while I'm actually. What? No. I don't think so. No. Gotta love it when stupid crap like that happens. Well, it seems like you haven't put this thing up for monetization. Excuse me, YouTube. No, we're gonna be having that be on. No, I don't want automatic places turned on. I don't want that being breached. Thank you very much. This thing makes me just want to table flip it. There we go. Yes, Jenny. What you got? What's your question, Jenny? Hmm. Okay. Right, if that's the case, let me get a different deck. Okay, here we go. The Erotic Fantasy Tarot. Okay, we have one side. There's the other. Firstly, on his side, we have the Eight of Pentacles. This depiction, we have a woman who doesn't look very pleased, in a way. She looks kind of a bit like, what? 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 All this investment and what? Then we have your side. Oh, what a shame. Oh, I know there's butterflies around me, and I think I'm hearing something, but I really don't care. Kind of like, It's somewhat like one side is a little bit that. His side is a little bit like, what? After all this, and this is what's going to be happening now? And on your side, it's currently like, oh, look, a butterfly. I know I hear yelling, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. And clarifying you is the Six of Cups. So, in a way, your side, you're kind of being a bit aloof to, and you know about it being there, like him not taking this well. But at the same time, there's this aloofness to it, but there's also this teasy effect to it. Like, oh, what a shame. Oh, hi. Oh, hi, you. What's up? Like, oh, no, what a shame. I'm not going to really acknowledge this bad behavior, but hey, I'll still tease you. And Judgment on top of that. So, his side. This is kind of like the big wake up call. Like, wake up. I can't believe all this stuff. Well, you dimwit, you're the one who probably did something to have this happen. Because you notice how the horn is being blown and the poor person's on the ground, the angel's like blowing it down on her. Like, wake up, you're the idiot who had this happen, mister. And now he's being faced with everything that caused it to happen. And now it's pretty much what you're doing. And what's even more interesting, if you noticed, the hairstyles on both. He is. He is unhappy, and he might be in a state where he might be a bit jealous. Because if you notice how the figures in both these cards, they appear to have the same. Yeah, because the thing is with this depiction, there's this jealousy and anger, if that makes sense. Like not having you all the way that he wants to. But if you notice, again, if I already given you a reading already, you have to give a super chat. Otherwise, I'm only giving not doing freebies. If I've given you one, you have to super chat an amount. I'm not going to be doing just free readings nonstop because that takes my energy, and I'm not going to be doing nothing for nothing. So, best way to put it, you're changing your appearance or you're changing something about you that actually makes you more appealing towards him, but you're still not really. You're not giving him the full attention he's used to, but you're still kind of teasing him with it, if that makes sense. So, still, there is this still strong sense of envy, and he's kind of getting the wake-up call of, it not being the way that he wants it to be, kind of giving him the big motivational kick to the tush. So, if you notice also here, you see how the river rafter guy is pretty much moving these two across the water, and the other two people are going at it like, okay. He is going to have to understand that more likely that, well, he messed it up. Now he's going to have to really let you be with this other person. If he doesn't, and if he violates that, he actually also might manipulate you into actually having something like this happen. To have a interaction that has more than one person involved, and just you and a new person. So be very careful with that. Be very careful with that one, because it actually might cause a big potential risk. So ultimately, keep yourself guarded and keep yourself protected from him, because he appears to be the kind that actually may come in and potentially restrict you and put you in a position where you may not be in a spot where you want to be, and you actually may be put into a lot of discord and strife, and it actually might be a motive of his to actually do it, to actually have something like something like that happen, while also trying to but the idea of okay, I'm just gonna let it be, but because since he's close by, he might have some kind of manipulative intent to do that. So the best way to guard it is to just keep yourself restricted from him the best you can, and to not really move on where you are right now. But if you do want to go look at it, see, then tell me what is his next move. His next two moves. One. He's going to accept the new circumstance, but he's going to roll with it. Meaning that he understands that the situation that was there is gone, but he's going to go along and work with it. But he's definitely going to be trying to, shove this stick towards you more. So be aware of him. Beware of that. Be very careful, because he has a stick and he's one to swing it. That's the best way, and that's the only way I'm going to put it. Be careful of that stick, because he's going to be kind of a little bit reckless with it. And yes, take it that suggestive way, because that's the intention of it. No, not like that. Not like hurt you. Not like physically hurt you, but there is this really strong, intense, lustful heat to it. But again, keep yourself in your new connection much better and much more safer and more reserved from him, because a potential risk, the risk may be there and it may be potentially there, even if it's veiled. But the best thing to do is just to keep at a distance. And still, I mean, there's nothing wrong with teasing somebody and toying with them. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But just know your limits. And know that if you're going to be investing with somebody new, you're investing with somebody new. But again, be careful not to have anything that you don't want to have happen. Meaning, if you don't want to have a multi-person connection, then make that known to the person you're with, and make it known to him, so that way he won't act on it. But if he gets pushy with it, then no. But if he tries to want to do anything to hinder it, be aware of that too. But he does want to actually, put the stick to a thing. Yeah. But I mean, some way, shape, or form, that seems to be the loudest potential risk that I'm getting from this. So just be aware of it. Yeah. Keep the cat. Yeah. Keep that king's mouth under control. If you catch my drift. Keep his mouth shut and keep his roaring hissy fittiness away. If he wants to try and get in on anything you're trying to hinder or harm the connection you have, keep that cat's mouth shut. Because you don't need to have that mess with you. Yep. Because if it gets out of hand, they actually cut it off with him. And just allow him to go if he gets out of hand. Because you don't have to suffer because of somebody else's jealousy like that. Yeah. Because you have your cup and you're giving it to somebody else, and you're knowing that you need to have your emotional fulfillment fulfilled too. I mean, I'm just saying what the cards are being thrown out. So really keep your emotional cup and like your emotional standing to yourself, and keep close to you, because that's really all that matters. And that cup is for somebody else that you're trying to figure out who is going to be best fitting for it. Don't let anybody else come in and knock it over, because that's not fair to you. Time's up. Where's my time? Oh crap! I actually have to get going. I didn't realize what time it was. It was late. Oh crap! I actually have to get going. I guess I have an appointment in 20 minutes, and I got to be down there. So I'll come back after my appointment's done, and then we'll just start back up from where we left off. So see you then. See you guys then. I gotta get ready.